Welcome to the Gaming Pulpit. This is your host, All Things Sony, and we're going to get into today's topics. The first one I want to talk about is Sony building their own Marvel empire, really. They're in the background, actually, and they are working on a hell of a fucking show in June. Uh, this month is almost over, and they got a lot of fucking rumors, and I am so fucking curious to see what's going on. I mean, there are rumors about Silent Hill remake, which, by the way, will not be Silent Hills. It won't be that first-person situation they had going on. If this rumor is to be true, they got the original people that did the what do you call it? The music, the soundtrack, and sound effects. They got the people that actually moved to Sony from Konami, that started working on Siren and Gravity Rush. They're all on it. So they said something like that is going to be at this particular show. They said that there's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn possibly. There's going to be some Spider-Man 2 information. They actually said there was a lot of games that was going to be shown at this particular event, but it was reduced due to the fact that they wanted to focus on straight next generation games, not just cross generation. Don't forget about the Demon Souls remake. Gran Turismo recently was seemingly mistakenly leaked, which is pretty crazy. I don't know who did that, but they straight up fucking had the Gran Turismo logo and then tried to backpedal on that shit. So we don't fucking know. And there's another thing too. They said that Blue Point is making a Jack and Dexter trilogy game, which combines all three stories in one game, which I am so for, honestly. I don't know if anyone knows me. I am super for that shit. That's one of my favorite games in the last generation. I mean, Sony looks like they have this shit actually down packed. I don't think they're going to show anything specifically about the pricing of the controller. So, I mean, pricing of the console, or showing the PS5 console. I wouldn't even get into that. I really wouldn't. I would say they would probably keep that shit for July, if anything, if you ask me. But yeah, it's going to be a big month next month. I mean, it's just full of data, full of information. They are absolutely going to absolutely kill it. A lot of people thought that Sony misstepped and didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Nah, it looks like they fucking know what they're doing. So if you know anything about Sony, oh man, if you're a fanboy, oh shit. Next, we got Ghost of Tsushima news, right? I was looking into certain threads and certain other websites regarding the news that's all coalesced all of the information into one place. So the ones that actually makes me super curious and super excited for is just a non-invasive heads-up display. They are using Win, and one of the things that they said is that the Win is a main way to navigate the game's world. I'm pretty sure you saw this in that state of play, where you hit a button and it just a gust of wind kind of directs you on where you need to go. So there's no real marker. So though you seem like a little bit on there, I wonder if they can completely remove it. But they want to make the game as immersive as possible. Another thing too is you see animals in the game, birds and whatnot. Apparently, you can definitely hunt animals in the game, but you will gain nothing for it. It's only there just to be immersive, and that's pretty much it. You can't eat them. If I'm to actually believe this or actually read this, you can't eat them or anything like that. Which is all right. I mean, okay, I got you. I ain't gonna I'm not gonna trip off of it because they have other elements like exploration and other animals. So apparently, you may be able to kill that fucking fox. I don't know if you can kill that horse. So another thing too is there are more stances than we saw in the demo. Or they said there are much more stances than the two that we saw in the video, and it will be used to apprehend the different types of enemies. So very, very curious on seeing that. Another thing that makes me excited, because it makes you more thoughtful on the type of stuff that you wear, is that you can wear heavy armor, but you'll be less agile. So that's going to change the complete way that you play. So if you're looking to be that sneaky ghost, you can't wear all that armor. Another thing too is that they said that it's going to be a hard game. That's the thing that I was really kind of worried about. Is this, do they know how to make difficult AI? So they said a couple blows from the enemy will kill you. Like the game is super challenging. Like the lowest level of mongrel, mongrel. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Could kill you very quickly. They said that also the map is super massive. They got different biomes that you can find in Japan, from snowy mountains, bamboo forests, waterfalls, and rolling grassland. They have a dynamic world as well. So there are AI models, but they don't keep track of where they are. They wander around and shit like that. That shit is super fucking cool. I'm so here for that. I knew it was gonna be like a breakout hit, but you just gotta see it. You know what it is. You know what it is. Lastly, check out this dude, yo. He's much better than Digital Foundry. Like, he has no opinions or anything in there. His name is NX Gamer, Next Gamer, Next Gen Gamer is what it comes down to. You can find him on YouTube. That is NX Gamer. He is super good. So he mentioned about the PlayStation 5 and its hard drive being fast as fuck, boy, fast as fuck. Like, they said a lot of different things. So essentially, I'm going to read off some things that I did read here. So pretty much the key differences between the I/O, the input-output systems that it's in Sony's system, is to bypass the CPU totally to do the data operations. They said that the Xbox Series X bypasses the CPU for texture decompression, but it sounds like it uses some CPU time for other operations. So apparently, the PlayStation 5 has a whole dedicated system going on that doesn't even use the CPU, which is the shit that, you can't just look at the numbers and call it a day. They said it's less latent and it saves a ton of CPU with the best competitive solutions we found doing the decompression software to match the SSD rate would have consumed the 3 Zen 2 CPU cores. They already have cores that does all of this that has nothing to do with the CPU, which is fucking awesome. And when you add the input-output CPU overhead, that's another 2 cores, resulting to a workload that would completely consume 5 Zen 2 cores, which is now only takes 1/10 of a CPU core. They have a lot of compression shit going on too. So apparently what's going on is that Sony is looking for a zero impact SSD input output. All aspects are implemented in the hardware. Beyond the extreme throughput and low latency, it means that the chances for stutters are gone. Then that is great. Now what he says, that's Next Gen Gamer in this video, which I will put the link in there. What he's basically saying, if you don't know, is that frame rate is impacted by the system trying to look for information or trying to decompress information. It takes time to do all of this stuff. You can't just do that. I know there's a lot of PC loyalists or elitists that thinks that you can just look at the SSD and call it a day. Data needs to actually be decompressed or processed, and that's where you get the stutters, and that's where you get the different pieces of systems architectures that are the hiccups or the bottlenecks. It looks like Sony was literally trying to eliminate that altogether. They looked at this generation, was like, nah, this is what everybody wants. They don't want shit hanging them up, and I can't wait to see what they got going on with the PlayStation 5. We're going to see the proof is going to be in the pudding. Basically, it really is.